You ready?
I am. I'm ready as I'll ever be.
Okay, let's do it. Hello and welcome to the Daily Weekly Podcast. Now this week it's a bit different. We're not talking about movies, we're not talking about TV shows, but we're still on topic because I feel cringy saying this about myself, but I'm a content creator and so is Tash.
Wow.
As I'm looking over to you now. So, welcome, first of all. It's great to finally have you on because we've been talking about some sort of collab forever now.
We talked about it for a while when Jake was on, and we just never got around to it. And then I went to basic training, so we never got around to it.
Yeah, and that is because you are in the army. You're training, aren't you? So, tell us a bit about yourself.
I am in the British Army. I'm currently in basic training. I've been in basic training since October, essentially, but I'm at home at the moment on leave because I had a few medical issues, but I'm hoping to get back soon. So yeah, I'm actually in the British Army joining the Royal Logistics Corps. If that means anything to anyone, probably not.
The reason why I have you on today is because I thought about a little cool idea. You know, I know a few people who do the content creation, and I thought, why not interview them as they are now, and let's say further down the road, you know, interview them again, see have they gone viral, have they blown up, have they given up, and just the sort of, you know, then and now sort of thing. So I think that'd be cool to look back.
That is very cool.
So this is a reminder to me. Make sure you follow this up down the line, Brad. Don't do it a one-off.
I'll get on your back. It's okay. I was on your back about doing this for a while, and then I gave up. So I wasn't I? I was on your back.
And then I'm like, you were, and it's just so many things got in the way, but here we are. We're doing it today.
I believe in us.
So, you know, I'm just going to ask a few questions, nothing too extreme. You have had a chance to have a quick look over them, so hopefully there should be no surprises.
Yeah. I'm still nervous.
Okay, so, you know, you've already introduced yourself a little bit, but for those of you who don't know, just tell us a bit more about yourself and what you do. And
so, like, in beginning of last year, so 2020, the exciting year that was 2020, my page that I'd created, I'd created it end of 2019, it was specifically for just my fitness, like to show my progression with my fitness. I think you followed me from the beginning, right? So it was just a silly like little page, not for anyone but myself, just to like track my progress with my fitness. And beginning of 2020, sort of just before the lockdown, I started to get a bit of attention from people in the army, like people who were joining. And a few people commented on my post. I'm like, oh, I know my assessment's been cancelled because my assessment centre had been cancelled. They were like, my assessment centre's been cancelled. We were just kind of relating. And from then, I decided to make a group chat for all of us so we could just chat about our general like journey. So I did. And it kind of grew from there. And then I realised there was kind of a market for this. And I was following some other creators, like Fabsy and things like that, who I then was in one of his videos. And it kind of grew from there. So like he gave me a bit of a platform. That. So I had about 400 followers. So I was already like at a weird level where I was like, oh wow, there's like an interest here. And then I got recognised by another large content creator who then wanted me to be in his videos. So then it just grew from there, and it's just gone. I say crazy, but for me it's crazy. It's gone crazy from there, pretty much.
So how long would you say you've been, like, it started off as that running page for your own benefit really, but then things started to grow. So how long would you say you've been creating content specifically for the page?
Probably when lockdown happened, which I feel like is when most like new content creators have come out, right? Like with lockdown, it's like there was nothing else to do, was there? And I was going on more runs than ever, and I was getting fitter more than ever. And this community was kind of growing in my DMs where we were all just discussing the process. And then, so I would say around March, it started to like pick up. But then I got more attention around July of 2020 because that's when I was going into collaborating with that larger creator. So it's been a weird journey.
And why did you want to, if at all, did you want to become a content creator? Was that ever a goal for you?
Sort of. Like, if you go back, there's like 9 years ago, there's privatised videos of me in my bedroom just acting crazy, and I was really bullied in school for it. So it was always like, poor Tash. I was always kind of like, this is like, I'd love to do that. I wanted to do film directing when I was younger.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really badly. Like, I really wanted to do it. But it was kind of happened on like by accident. I didn't set out to be like a content creator or like an influencer or anything like that. Like, I think some people might assume that was my goal. Like, I went out to do that, and I set out to be some kind of like famous YouTuber, famous army YouTuber, which wasn't the case. It literally happened by accident, and now it has happened. I wouldn't change it. Like, it's so good. It's like a privilege.
Yeah, like I've been subscribed to a YouTube channel for a long time now, and I remember when you just had just a few hundred subscribers, and now you've got over 1,000. So that's great.
Yeah, and it was just like silly little videos, but now when I film my videos, I actually try and like make the editing good, and like I try and present myself a little bit better than I used to. It's like, so I'm like, there's more. I mean, I've got 14,000 views on one of my videos, which is completely insane to me, because I just don't understand why 14,000 people would want to watch me. Like, I'm so normal. Bradley, you know me. Like, I'm such a normal, boring person.
Yeah.
We worked in Pirbright together. Like, I'm not interesting, like, whatsoever. So it just baffles me that 14,000 people wanted to watch a video about.
I know. And when I saw it, it really took off, and now all your videos since have just got thousands of views each time.
Yeah. It's nuts. I watch the views like go up. Like, so I'll post it on the day, and I'm like, it's already got 100 views within like an hour. I'm like, how is that possible? Because I suppose I post it on my Instagram, and I suppose people would go over there. But I'm just like, it baffles me that anyone would want to watch me. Like, I don't get it. It feels weird.
So, what does being a content creator mean to you?
God, that's a hard question, isn't it? Well done, Bradley. I think it's about like, it's important to me because I love like being creative, like ridiculously love being creative. I never had the opportunity to do it because I was thinking of doing drama and stuff in school, and drama like as a career really, and like film directing, and it was always an ambition that I thought was unrealistic. So it's really important to me because it's like a side thing, but it's also like a passion that I have now that I didn't. Well, I knew I always had the passion for it, but now I have a passion that people like want to watch, and that's so cool. Like, you can be passionate about something and no one be interested in it, but now I've got people interested in it. It's just nuts.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it's,
and by being that content creator, having thousands of people watching you, all the subscribers, the views, do you see yourself as an influencer?
Ugh. I hate that word, but I'm gonna be honest, like, sometimes I do use it because like I'm not just like someone who posts on Instagram just like we all do for the sake of it, just for like a selfie, if you know what I mean. Like, my posts they have intentions, and I think they do influence people in some way, if that makes sense. So like, I would hate to say influencer, but like budding influencer, like aspiring influencer, I suppose. Yeah. Because I think my posts are there to influence people. So, although I know it's a horrible word to use, it just is, isn't it? It's just like, it makes me feel icky.
It's sort of like, especially given the last year, a lot of influencers have had a bad reputation. Like, nobody wants to, look at those influencers. What are they doing? But you're different to what those social media stars from reality TV. That's not what you are. But and seeing how your page has grown, I would say you are an influencer. I've seen the comments on your videos. People, they're asking you for advice. They're saying, "Oh, this has helped me. Oh, this is really great." So I think you do influence people.
Which is weird because and when I've jumped on a few live streams of people before, like just curious, just like I follow them, they follow me, so I just jump on like my followers' live streams every now and then, and they're like freaking out. They're like, "No way, CivieToSoldier's on my live stream." They're like, "Oh my god, she's such an inspiration," and I'm like, "What?" Like, I'm just like so normal. I'm like, I'm like, calm down. Like, I'm such a normal person. Like, I would probably go to the pub with you. Like, and I don't see myself as like an inspiration, but I get so many messages every day like, "Oh, you inspire me every day. Like, you pushed me on to like join the army." I'm like, what? I'm like, it's crazy.
And I watch some of your live streams from time to time, and I was on one recently where you had people come on and, just reading through even some of the comments in the chat there, and like they were really excited, thinking, "Oh my god, I get to be on the live stream with you."
Yeah, it's weird. I was talking to this with someone the other day, and I was saying like they jumped on my live stream just like just out of pure curiosity, and they were like, it was mad how many people were on there, because like I personally don't watch live streams. Like, I will jump on a few every now and then, but I don't like set out to go on someone's live stream, or like I wouldn't stay on a live stream the whole time. But there's people on my page that come to my live streams and they're there like the whole duration, and I do recognise people. Like, I'll recognise names and things like that, and like it's just mad to me because I wouldn't watch a live stream, so it's weird to like do something that people actually want to watch, if that makes any sense. I'm just like, and I'm literally just sat in my bedroom. I don't plan a live stream. I just turn on the camera and just start chatting. So weird.
You see you're just a normal person, just like anybody else, and then get all this attention from your fans, if I'm going to use that word.
Fans, jeez.
Do you think being this content creator, do you think you're pressured to do things, and have you like had any struggles that you've overcome?
I think there's like struggles of everything. Like, I think there is pressure because sometimes so many people message me and they're like, "Oh, I'm waiting for your next video," and I'm not great at putting out like videos, if I'm being completely honest. Like, when I put out a video though, I do put quite a lot of work into it now, especially.
Yeah.
But there is a bit of pressure, and I think recently there's been all this women talk, and like with Sarah Everard and all of that, and I wasn't going to talk on it, but I then got to the point where my page is about empowering. It's mostly about empowering women, if I'm being completely honest with you. There were no content creators in the army that were female that I knew of, so I just was like, I'll be one, kind of, and I volunteer. So I thought it was wrong for me to like ignore that. I couldn't just ignore what was going on when my whole page is about empowering women, if that makes any sense.
No, definitely.
There is some pressures with that. Like, I think I don't want to talk about a really hot topic, but it would be wrong if I didn't. And just making sure that I stay as professional as possible when I do talk about it. My ring light's gone off. That's really annoying. Why has it done that?
A few moments later.
So, what would you say has been your biggest struggle?
I think being on social media and in the army is a hot topic, and a lot of people in the army can be a bit backwards about social media. I have a different viewpoint where social media it can be negative, like so negative. I've had so many negative comments on my stuff, but the positives completely outweigh it. And I think we need to start moving forward. Social media can be so positive, especially for the army. Like, they create adverts all the time. Personally, I would rather watch a YouTube video of someone actually in the army talking about their experience than I ever would watching one of their adverts, if I'm being completely honest, because I think it's giving a more raw and real experience. I don't know if that makes sense, but I personally would prefer that to any other, and like any video they would make. So I think that's one of the struggles, is like, not everyone is going to be with you on it, but as long as I've got majority of people on my side and I'm helping at least one person, then I'm going to carry on, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's the thing. I think even if you don't have, it doesn't matter about the following, but if you help that number of people,
Yeah,
then you're doing
exactly.
something right. There's no harm in that. You're helping them, you're teaching them, and they take positive things from it. So then they come back for
Even
more,
when
and that's how it builds.
I had like 300 followers, I was like just so chuffed that I could help some people. It was just really, it was so cool to me. So now, like, having over 2,000 people on my Instagram, it's just crazy. Like, it's honestly nuts. I don't really understand.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So apart from the struggles that you've faced, what have you learned from it? How have you overcome that?
I think I've learned over time, definitely, to just let people have their opinions on you. Like, no, not everybody's gonna like what you do. So not everyone's gonna like what you do, so you might as well do what you love, and I love doing it. So, like I said, as long as majority of people enjoy it, then I'm gonna carry on. And I've just learned to kind of not give them the attention that they want in the first place. Like, people only come to like hate you for because they're bored, like they are bored. And I've come to the conclusion that now where it's just like, I'm not even going to bother responding to it. If they don't like it, then they don't have to watch. And that's what I always say on my live streams. Like, if you don't like me, you're wasting your time. Just don't watch. Just click away.
Yeah.
And I
go somewhere
I've
else.
removed people from live streams because it's just not worth the ag. It's not worth my mental health being affected, and it's not worth having a discussion with them on it. They don't deserve my time. So I'd rather give my time to people that enjoy my content.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, seeing as your following is growing, and obviously I'm sure you've seen, well, I don't know, did you watch similar people? Are there other content creators that do what you do?
Obviously there's Fabsy, who's a content creator. He does YouTube videos. They're really, really good. There's a few females now cropping up, like the Doctor Secrets on Instagram, Army Reserve Story. So there's a few like females now, which is really cool, and they've all got different perspectives. So the Doctor Secrets is officer reserves. Army Reserve Story is obviously reserves training, and then mine is obviously normal basic training. So it's like there are a lot more cropping up, and they've even started filming YouTube videos now. So it's really cool, and it's creating this whole community. So
yeah, and I mean, maybe just content creators in general or YouTubers in general, but have you ever like compared yourself thinking, oh, they have such a bigger following than me, why aren't I getting that?
I think
do you ever feel like that?
I see their videos and I see their content and I'm inspired by it a little bit. So like when they'll talk about certain things or they'll write a post about something, I'll think, oh, that's a really good way of looking at it, essentially. So a few times I've seen like Army Reserve Story talking about her fitness and what she's eating, things like that, and I'm thinking, oh, that's quite good. Or they'll post something on a story that I think is really interactive and really cool. So I think it's more like admiration than like number jealousy. Like, I'm not really fussed about numbers. Like, I don't think I ever will be, because the people that do follow me, I know them. I know them by name. Like, the DMs mean more to me than a like on a video.
And I mean, it's the same for me. Like, I do this because I enjoy it. It's something I want to do, and the numbers, if anything, it's just a bonus. If people like it, I know people like it, but say if it blows up, well, that's great. I'm not set out to do that, but if it happens, it happens. It's all about doing it because you want to and because you enjoy it. If you just forced yourself, like, the stuff you make wouldn't be as good and people wouldn't watch it, so it's good that you make it because definitely. You want to.
You've got to love what you do, otherwise there's no point. And it's quite good that obviously Jake left the podcast because he didn't have his heart in it. If your heart's not in something, there's no point. So obviously that's, in a way, obviously it's like quite sad because obviously he's left the podcast, but it's also a real positive because you wouldn't want him to stay if he didn't have his heart in it. The whole point of like content creating is feeling passionate about it, and if you're not passionate about it, there's no point.
Exactly, and there's no bad blood between me and Jake. We're still best friends, and he just got a bit busy, and if, like, you know, as he said in his video, that his heart just wasn't in it, and he didn't want to, you know, water down the brand and ruin what we're doing, because then he'd be making things he didn't enjoy. And, you know, I totally stand by that. The door's always open for him, and I've got a few things lined up that maybe he could come back and guest in. Maybe you can come back and guest in a few other things too. A couple more questions here for you, just to round it off. What has been your favourite moment so far?
God. Weirdly, it's an Instagram post, because I posted an Instagram of me leaving for basic training, and that's just my favourite post I've ever done, even though there's not much to it, there's not much substance. It's actually just like, I'm off to basic training pretty much. It was just one of my favourite posts because it got so many likes, which obviously isn't the point, but I think it's one of my most liked posts, because it was like all this work I put in, everyone was following all this hard work I'd put in to try and get into the army, and it was like the moment for them where they're like, like, you can do it, like, this person's just proved that you can do it. Because, like I always say, is I'm not the skinniest person in the world, I'm not the fittest person in the world, I'm literally so average, so if I can do it, then anybody can, like, literally anybody can. And I think that was one of my favourite posts, because it was the turning point for me. Like, I'd proved people who didn't believe in me wrong, and I proved, like, myself as well. I proved it to myself. So I think that's one of my favourite posts I've ever done, because it was just like, my page is called CivieToSoldier. That is the tipping point from civilian to soldier. That's like the literal tipping point. Yeah.
And, you know, proving yourself wrong, thinking like, oh, that you can do it. I mean, I know you put a lot of work into this, and you've been very determined. You haven't given up. So I think that's a great quality to have. And some people might think, oh, you know, I can't do this, or it went wrong, I'm just going to give up. But you have that determination. You know, your following has grown and it keeps growing. You know, do you see it as a brand? And if so, where do you see it going?
I do a bit, because I think, like, obviously I've got this whole community now of, like, content creators and people who are creating content in the army. So I think, like, I'm trying to build up the CivieToSoldier kind of brand, because I've just had a new profile picture put in and things like that. So I'm trying to build it, but I don't know if it's quite a brand yet, but I'm hoping one day it might be. Like,
it could be.
Yeah. Some people wanted me to, like, change my name. They were like, oh, once you're, like, in the army, you should change your name. But I still want it to stay CivieToSoldier, because that's how people know me. And also, it is about the transition. It's about the journey. It will always be about the journey from civilian to soldier.
Yeah, exactly. It's you know, everyone's going to recognise that name to you.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
you have that kind of authority almost, like, CivieToSoldier, I know who that is. You know, I've seen her stuff, I know what she does, so that's all good. And finally, what advice would you give to someone wanting to pursue a career similar to yours?
A career in the army, or a career...
A bit of both, you know, whatever.
I'm hoping this could be a career, like a side thing. Career in the army, work hard, make sure, like, if you really want it, like, you will get it. Although you'll probably have so many setbacks, because that's just how the army is. But just work hard, and if you really want it, like, there's no reason why you shouldn't get it, apart from, obviously, like, unfortunately, medical reasons. There's no reason why you shouldn't get it. And in terms of content creator wise, I love helping out people who are smaller and are so much better. Like, there's so many people who have so much better content than mine that don't have as many followers. So, like, I love sharing them on my Instagram stories. So, like, if you ever need or want a hand with creating content or becoming, like, influencer, I always want to help people, because I just think it's, like, so cool. And if you're passionate enough about it and you put the effort in, you can literally do anything. Like, the world is your oyster with everything.
Definitely, but I think if people wanted to do, I mean, almost any career, anything, it requires that time. Like, it's not going to happen overnight, no matter what you want to do, I don't think.
No, never.
You know, like, if that's in the content creator world, you know, maybe you'll get a video that will go viral, but you know, it might not last forever. You know, you might have to work hard, make hundreds of things before someone notices you. But if you put in that effort, it will pay off. And the same with the career. You know, you can't just decide, right, I'm going to join the army and then you're in. You know, there's a lot of work that goes into it.
Yeah, exactly. I think that was maybe my naivety at the beginning. Was I thought, oh, you just apply, you go for your fitness, and then you're in. Like, but there's so much stuff behind it. So many people, especially since I've had this page, I've realised there's so many people who get setbacks, so many people who who get declined. Like, it's a journey. It is a major journey. So
it really is, and you're well on your way on that journey. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for being the first ever guest in this little interview mini-series that I will be doing. So
great.
Thank you.
Pleased. I've been asking to do it for a while, so it's done.
I know. I'm so glad.
We can pat ourselves on the back, Bradley.
well done. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching. If you're a follower of mine from the Daily Weekly, definitely go check out Tash's pages, CivieToSoldier, Instagram and YouTube. That's worth a follow. If you're someone new who's come from Tash, and well, welcome to the Daily Weekly. There's a whole lot of stuff to check out. So, you know, we're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, even MySpace apparently. But, you know, we're out there. Stick around.
They're definitely worth a watch. They make a lot better content and put a lot more work into it than mine.
Oh, you're too kind.
So
you're too kind.
Subscribe.
Oh, thank you, and goodbye, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to me and Tash if you like this video.
Bye.